Hello, how are you doing, Jennifer?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
Well, I'm fine. I'm talking with you, I'm
You're
fine.
fine. That's good.
What are you doing? You have a keyboard on your back.
Yeah, that's my piano, and these are my guitars and all of that stuff. So I'm playing a lot of instruments. That is what I'm doing while we have lockdown and planning some stuff for BTB. And yeah, I have a lot to do.
How
Yeah.
has been your lockdown?
Um, I have to say that it's not always the same for me this lockdown. At first, everything was like, oh my God, what is happening here? And what shall I do with my time? Did a lot of live streams and Instagram stuff and all of that. But then I have to say, nowadays, it's difficult to stay positive, but that is something that is super important for me. That's also why we released the album Horizons, because it has so many positive messages in this, and we thought, okay, this is super important for the people as well nowadays. But yeah, now it's longer and longer and longer the lockdown, so it's getting serious, I would say, in getting, yeah, or staying positive.
Hmm. You had to postpone your tour with
Yeah.
Amaranthe. I don't know if twice or three times. How do you feel about that?
Of course, it's super sad, but I think it's also necessary, as that's why we did it, because we want to have a big, powerful show with all the people that want to come. So I know that a lot of people are afraid. So I think that was the right decision. But of course, I want to go on stage and do the party that we're normally doing.
And you released an album during this pandemic.
Mm.
How was for you this release?
Um, It was different, of course, but we had some drive-in shows during the release, so we had something that we could party with, but it was like, yeah, singing in front of cars. So it was different, but also interesting. So we had not like releasing an album and doing nothing. So two shows that was okay for us in this situation. But of course, it's not the same than releasing an album and going on tour with it. We will go on tour with it with Amaranth, of course, but it's a long time between that. So we're doing a lot of stuff on social media and so on, that we can try to hold that album and remind the people that it's there. And it's difficult, but I think it was super important that we did it, like I said before, because of the messages and all of that stuff. And it's also, when you're writing an album, also it's a part of your life that you're describing. And I think it wouldn't be the same if we would have replaced it or rescheduled it to, I don't know, 2021, and it wouldn't feel the same, I think. So I'm glad we did it and we released it, and now it's time for writing new songs.
Hmm. So there's a big difference between the release of your album, which was in the last year in 2020 in June, if I'm not
June,
wrong,
yeah.
and the tour is postponed until January of the next year. So there is a year and a half. Are you planning to release another album in that time, or no?
I don't think we will release a whole album in that time, but of course, we have some plans to maybe release some songs or doing some other super interesting stuff in between. We also had like some acoustic cover stuff that we released as a digital EP. So we have some things that we will do for the people.
So you are always preparing things.
Of course. We cannot just sit here and doing nothing, of course.
Absolutely. And you said you played some shows in driving shows.
Mhm.
I've never been in a show like that. How was for you singing in front of the cars?
I think we had a bit of a luck because we were late with these drive-in shows, so the people were allowed to stand next to their albums. So go out next to their albums, next to their
Car.
cars. Yeah, of course. Sorry. Um, so they could see us and we could see them and seeing how happy they are and all of that. I don't know how it would have been if we just saw cars. But in this moment, when we released an album, we were happy to just do something, and we also had some specials, like I went to the people and were walking between the cars and all of that stuff, so that was amazing. When you just were like, okay, there's a pandemic, I don't know what to do, and we cannot do normal shows now, but this is possible. So in this situation, it was like I was super happy to do anything. So yeah, it was perfect for that situation. I'm not sure if I would do that again, to be honest, but because it's another situation now, it's no longer, all of the stuff, and you just want to have a normal concert again.
Hmm.
So, but for this situation, it was perfect.
So you don't think that driving concerts are an option for the artist?
I don't think so, to be honest, because also you have to have a lot of cars to really yeah, have all of the stuff that you're preparing and stuff. Yeah, financially, it's really a big difference than having a lot of people in that situation. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a long-term thing.
I guess. And well, as you know, this interview is because today is March 8th, the International Women's Day. So, as you are a young woman, I would like to know if during your career, I don't know if I can say short, because we will talk with women with a huge career in the music industry. But I would like to know if during your career you have suffered some uncomfortable or tough situations just for being a woman.
Um, yes and no. I of course had the problem as a woman in metal to be to be seen as hard enough for that genre. That is definitely something that I really felt, and that you always had to surprise the people positively to say, okay, we're hard enough, we're doing that stuff, and this is metal. And of course we're doing a special crossover thing, so this is also something that maybe is because of that. But yeah, that was something that was super hard. And for me, I have to say I met not a lot of people that were bad. So thankful for that. Really, a lot of people that were super nice, and within the musicians, all of them, they're really cool and like gentlemen. So this is something that I know that a lot of other women had some big problems with that, and some of the people are not like, yeah, what you want if you're a woman in this business. But yeah, thankfully I always had people that believed in what I did musically, and not anything else. So yeah, of
So,
course it's super important to look and feel, all of that stuff that comes to the music. But for me, it always was super important that the music is the first thing that the people respect. And that this was also in the business, within the business, that I never accepted anything out of that music business talk and all of that stuff. So yeah.
so do you think you need it, or you need to prove yourself uh, more than a man in this metal scene, just because metal is relation to hard and that
Mm.
kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's something that I really felt, and I think it's also for other bands with a woman in the front, that a lot of guys, I don't know, or maybe also women, I don't know, don't see it as hard as yeah, a man in the front, even if he's singing clean and or just rock voice or something like that. So this is something that you have to prove, I think, before you're accepted, I think.
Hmm. And social media is very important nowadays for the bands and for the growth of the young bands. Um, do you have to deal with I will say bullshit on Instagram?
um, of course, I get here and there some messages that I think, oh my god, what's wrong with you? I don't know what you're thinking, why you can write me something like this, but I also have to say here, I know I present myself not like sexy as hell with a lot of skin and all of that stuff, and I do that because I know this is triggering such people. I know that I think that everyone should do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to present himself like that, he should do that, or she should do that. And it should not be that this is triggering somebody. But in my case, I think I just, yeah, protect myself in doing that. But it's not that I want to present myself like that as well. So it's a good thing for me that I don't receive a lot of messages like that. Yeah.
So I feel that you are a little bit shy, maybe because you don't want to show yourself a lot of.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm a shy person. Since I'm super young, I was not talking to people that I didn't know. So it was really a long time. I was 9 in my first band, and I think 2 or 3 years I did not even say thank you because I was too shy.
So
So
your side.
I'm really a shy person. I think during the last 2 or 3 years, I just learned to talk to you like that, and I didn't do that before. So I'm generally a shy person, and that's also what I show in my social media and all that stuff. That's also a reason, I think.
And when you see some bands who have female singers or musicians, and you see that their appearance is sexualized, what do you think about that? Because you don't want to do that with yourself, but what do you think when you see that in another bands?
When I see what, I didn't
Uh,
really understand.
the
Sorry.
the body of the women of another
Hmm.
bands
Hmm.
sexualized.
Okay. Um, like I said before, everyone should do whatever he wants, and if that is something how he wants to or she wants to express herself and feels comfortable with it, and she wants to feel sexy and she feels sexy with it, I think it's perfectly fine, and she should do it. And but I know, or everyone knows that this is triggering people, and I don't know. Everyone should decide himself if he wants or if he can yeah, if he can deal with that, because it's not normal till now. It should change, and that's why I think the people should continue doing that, um if they feel like it. But of course I understand if people say, hmm, I cannot deal with these messages, so I don't do it. But there are always people that are strong enough to do that and to ignore such messages and all of that stuff, and we need them. We need them to make that all of that more normal and to make a change in that mindset.
But when that decision of sexualize the women didn't come from the own woman and come from the label or the management, what do you think
Okay.
about it?
That is nothing you should do. So sex sells, saying that to a woman that is in the front, you should not do it, of course. Even if somebody tells them to do that and she says, okay, I have no problem with it, I just want to sell a lot of albums and then it's okay for me. Okay, but if she doesn't feel comfortable, no one should do anything that he doesn't feel comfortable with. So you shouldn't definitely not do pressure on sex sells stuff. So but yeah, of course, it's something that every woman can or should decide or should be able to decide herself.
Mm-hmm. And about the social media again, um, do you used to receive that dick pics in your direct messages or something like that? Because we've talked with different women and they told us they received a lot and they send it to the other members of the band or whatever.
Oh, they send it to the band members.
Yeah, just for laughing.
Okay, so they laugh about it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
have you received some of that pictures
No pictures. No pictures.
and
I'm
videos?
so glad I never got pictures. Just weird stuff, but not like dick pics or something. But
What is weird?
yes, um, yeah, people that are like doing super sexy poses in within I don't know, having a carrot in their hands. I don't know, something weird.
A
So
carrot,
yeah, with carrots.
like Bugs
But
Bunny.
yeah. So this is weird, but no, I just get messages like, yeah, sex question mark and something like this. Just like I don't get what this wants to be or he wants to be, or I don't know. So but I sent these messages to my band members as well, of course. So I laugh about it.
And have you heard some uh, bad stories of another women in the music
Yeah.
scene?
Yeah, I think it's not long ago when I heard another story about somebody in USA who's was somehow connected with a band. So he brought them to USA and he was like doing or telling her that she can just be successful there if she does other things with him, or I don't know if I just read some things that I don't want to remember, to be honest, because I I don't know, it's hard to read something like this and all the sentences that he wrote to her and all that stuff, but I think the best thing about this story that I heard was that everyone now knows about him and that he's out of the business now. So you have to stand up and tell the people, and you really cannot just do it. Even if you're, I understand if you're a small band and you want to grow, that you don't have a lot of chances, or I don't know, and you have to grab everything you can have. But in this case, I would say no. I would say okay, then we don't tour in USA. So I know that we also had a contact to this man and we did not do it. So yeah.
And have you been afraid on tour sometime for a situation like that one?
um not because of business members, because I just allow people that I know to be with. We don't have like group fan parties in the backstage like maybe other bands. So I'm not afraid about that. So I always know the people that are coming backstage, and they are all nice people. So I always feel super comfortable with them. But in the beginning, I had some weird situations with fans that were coming after me to the nightliner, and I thought, oh my god, he's behind me, and not that he sees what I'm typing in with the code and all that stuff. That was weird and scary. So I always go with our manager or tour manager to everywhere where I go. So yeah, that is something that I have to do, but I feel more comfortable with it.
And you are a young woman, and Beyond the Black is growing a lot the last couple of years. What message would you say to, well, women or musicians in general with young bands to grow nowadays in the metal or in the music industry?
Find yourself people that believe in your music and that believe in what you're doing, and not just a picture of what they see. So this is the most important thing. Go most of all with people that are maybe smaller label, but people that believe in you, than a bigger label and you're like one of 1,000 bands and they don't do a lot for you. So this is something that is the most important thing that I expected during the last years. That was the most important thing for us. We always had people that believed in what we did. So that was the reason why we could tour with Scorpions and all of the stuff very early and have our first shows at Wacken. That's all. It's not that we're better than, I don't know. It's just we had people that believed in us and had some connections, and they told them, hey, they're a real amazing band, and you should take them as I don't know. So that's the reason why we came so far, or so big in Germany. It's really cool because we have a lot of contacts here. So yeah, that is the main thing. So people that are really cool people. So if you're working in the music business, don't do it for the money because it's because it's a long way. It's a long way till you really earn money. So try to have a good time with people that you like.
Absolutely. So hard work and connections are
Yeah.
the keys or your message.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for your time, Jennifer. I hope to see you soon here in Spain in almost 1 year, and not
Yeah.
and the tour is not postponed again, please.
Yeah, we hope so too. Fingers crossed.
So, fingers crossed. So take care there in Germany, and see you soon.
Yeah, see you. Bye. Thank you so
Goodbye.
much.